Participants, welcome you all for the day of program. For the today's morning session, we have with us Professor Dr. Hameed from Department of Education, University of Calicut. On behalf of the management of Murugappa Polytechnic College and the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and on behalf of all the participants, we extend our heartiest welcome to Dr. Hameed. I would like to introduce Dr. Hameed to you. Dr. Hameed is a professor in the Department of Education, University of Calicut, Kerala. He is a postgraduate in education, history, sociology, and applied psychology, and a PG diploma holder in guidance and counseling. Sir took his doctorate in education from University of Calicut. He was rank holder of MA program from Calicut University, Kerala. Sir started his career as high school teacher and later elevated as a teacher educator in Farooq Training College, Calicut. After 4 years of teaching and research experience in Farooq Training College, he joined as assistant professor in the Department of Education, University of Calicut in November 2010. He is presently the member, Faculty of Education, University of Calicut, and member, Program Advisory Committee and Program Implementation Committee, Teaching Learning Center, University of Calicut, and member, Placement Cell, University of Calicut. Sir's areas of specialization includes educational research, social service, social science in education, trends and issues in education, innovative instructional strategies, and inclusive education. Sir is an approved research guide of Calicut University, Baragar University, Coimbatore, and Karpagam University, Coimbatore. 7 students have been awarded the PhD under Sir's guidance, and 5 students are in the final stage of their PhD thesis submission and the related works. At present, students are doing MPhil under Sir's guidance. Apart from that, he has produced more than 60 master level dissertations in education. Sir has produced a number of standardized research tools in education. Sir has completed 1 research projects funded by UGC. Sir is a resource person of various UGC MHRD schemes. Sir acted as external expert for the examination for various universities. He has presented papers and invited lectures in more than 100 national and international seminars and conferences. Sir has published extensively in the form of book chapters and journal articles. At present, he has published more than 60 research papers in reputed national and international journals. He has developed, edited, and presented more than 100 e-contents on diverse subjects in education and developed 4 MOOCs on the Swayam platform. So, in fact, I got the referral from the SART's Swayam platform only. When I looking for various experts, I gone through the SART's Swayam platform. It is a very good course, especially designed for the educators. So I got his contact and I approached Sir to fix the session. Sir is trained NLP, DA, practical counseling, clinical hypnosis, and brain gym, pranic healing, yoga, etc. In these areas, he is also trained. He is a certified trainer of JCA India. So that much a resourceable person we have with us today for today's morning session. On behalf of all the participants and on behalf of the department, I will extend a welcome to you, sir. Welcome, sir. We must thank you for accepting our invitation and we accepted to present the session to the participant. Welcome you, sir. Now the session is yours, sir.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the elaborate introduction. I'm very happy to be here with you in this fine morning with a group of enlightened teachers and in a program organized by Murugappa Polytechnic College, Chennai. I feel that we are on the 5th day of the AICTE ISD sponsored 6 days induction refresher program on pedagogical techniques and tools for technical education in the new normal. So I feel that it's time to interact something on the connection between brain and education. At the outset, I am thankful to Professor Shekhar for inviting me to interact with the enlightened group of teachers from different organizations. Also, one more happiness is that I have been doing a lot of courses with regard to e-content development and Swayam programs. I have already shared the link of my new course in your chat on innovative strategies of teaching and learning. Really, that course includes 40 innovative methods of teaching, including brain-based learning, whole brain teaching, etc. So I feel that as a teacher educator, it will be useful for you. So it's my offer for the participants. Thank you. So I feel that there are different faculty members from different institutions. Am I audible, sir? Am I clearly audible?
Audible, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Thank you very much. So I've been asked to speak something on the relation between teaching and brain science, or teaching with the brain in mind. So I feel that we have been teaching for the last number of years, but we have to think about whether we have been utilizing completely the brain principles in teaching and learning. One more thing is that nowadays science has evolved a lot, particularly neuroscience and cognitive neuroscience has evolved a lot. So a lot of drastic changes are happening in the field of brain neurology. Also, we have an eminent neurosurgeon from India, Dr. V.S. Ramayandran. I think he's from Tamil Nadu. I think he's now in US. He's studying that much on the relation between brain studies and education. I think some of you might have gone through his books named Phantoms in the Brain and Telltale Brain, etc. So I feel that it's an interesting area. One more thing is that after warfare, countries are spending billions of dollars in warfare. So after warfare, I feel the second next important area where countries are spending money is brain studies. So that much importance is given to this area. So with this introduction, let me enter to the topic. So let me welcome all the participants to this session. It's not a teaching session, it's an interactive session, I feel so. We have some limitations regarding the online platform. I feel that if we interact effectively, enthusiastically, if we can avoid those difficulties that may come in an online platform. Let me share my PPT. Could you see the slide? Hello?
Yes, sir, visible, sir.
Visible. Okay, thank you. So once again, let me welcome all of you to the session on teaching with the brain in mind. So I feel that before going to discuss something about the topic teaching with the brain in mind, myself, as Dr. Shekhar has introduced myself, I'm Dr. Hameed from the Department of Education, University Calicut, Kerala. I think some of you might have come to Kerala. So we welcome, the Department of Education welcome you to come to Kerala to visit our university too. So before the session, I feel that let's have some relaxed session because we are discussing something on the connection between brain and teaching learning process. So are you comfortable, participants? You can interact in between. Hello. Hello, friends. Okay. So I feel that before the session, we might just go for 1 or 2 minutes relaxation. So studies on science of brain proves that relaxation will improve concentration. Relaxation will improve at least 25% additional learning. Okay, so brain scientists like Arthur Jensen, they proves that if a learner relaxes before learning, there will be 25% additional learning. One more thing, it will accelerate the pace of learning. If the learner is relaxed, he can learn sometimes something or some learning area by 1/10 of the time usually taken for learning some other areas. Okay, so are you ready, participants? Shall we go through a small exercise, relaxation? Hello, you can interact. You can unmute more than chat also. You can unmute and tell me whether you are ready. Shall we move? Okay, yes. So please sit comfortably. Please sit comfortably. By your hands and legs uncrossed, your spine erect. Take 1 or 2 deep breaths. Breathe into your stomach. Breathe out from your stomach. Slowly inhale and slowly exhale. With each breath, feel that your mind and body are relaxing. With each breath, feel that your mind and body are relaxing. When you inhale, feel the breath in the tip of your nose. When you exhale, feel the warmth in the tip of your nose. With each breath, feel that your mind and body are relaxing. From the head up to the toe. Concentrate on your eyelids. Feel that your eyelids are relaxed. Then try to open your eyelids, but you can't. Whenever you are trying to open your eyelids, it's becoming more and more closer, pasted-like, with a glue. You can try, but you can't. You can try, but you can't open your eyelids. That means you are relaxed. Feel that this gentle relaxation slowly spread to other parts of your head. Cheeks, lids, lower elbow, upper elbow, ears, upper, left, right, back side of your head. All parts are relaxed. This gentle relaxation slowly coming down to your neck area. Feel the muscles of that area is relaxed. Feel that this gentle relaxation slowly coming down and down to your shoulder area. The stressed muscles of that area is being relaxed. Feel that this relaxation, gentle relaxation, slowly moves down to your hands, elbow, to the tip of your fingers in both hands. Then from the shoulder area, this gentle relaxation slowly coming down to your chest area, diaphragmatic region, the area in between stomach and the chest, and slowly to the stomach area. Your internal organs are continuing its process as it is. At the same time, it is relaxing. Your backside also, touching the chair or cushion. That's also relaxing. This relaxation gently moves to your buttock area. That area is relaxing. Slowly move down to your legs. It's moving down and down and down up to the tip of your toes, both legs. Now from the head up to the tip of the toes, you are gently relaxed. You are gently relaxed. You are gently relaxed. I will count from 3 to 1. This relaxation deepens. 3. This relaxation deepens. More and more. More and more. 2. Again it deepens. More and more. 1. You are in deeper relaxation. Deeper relaxation. Now take one of the pleasurable incidents in your life. The wonderful moments in your life. See those moments as a picture in front of you. See the visual of the pleasurable event in front of you as a picture. See the color of the picture, brightness of the picture, the size of the picture, and the distance from you. Now slowly increase the color of the picture as per your comfort. If you want, slowly improve the color of the picture. When the color improves, your happiness is also increasing. Your pleasure is also increasing. You are becoming more joyful. Also, if you want, you can increase the brightness of the picture up to a comfortable level. Again, when brightness improves, as you like, your happiness also improves. Again, you can improve, you can increase the size of the picture if you want, up to a comfortable level. When the size increases, again, your pleasurable moment increases, your happiness increases. You can also feel that as the picture is coming near to you, this colorful, bright picture, bigger one, that's coming near to you at your comfortable level. When the picture becoming nearing to you, that's again your happiness increases. Be there for a while. Now I may count from 1 to 3. When I reach 3, you can slowly open your eyes and come back. 1, you are slowly coming back. 2, you are coming back. 3, now you can open your eyes and come back. Have you come back? Are you there? Hello friends, are you there? There are a lot of possibilities. Could you hear me? Okay, now how do you feel? Kushbu Patel, feeling relaxed. Thank you. Will this relaxation improve the learning of our students also? Can we use this relaxation in our classrooms? I used to, in my classrooms, if I have first period, I use about 5 minutes time for students' relaxation. Because I believe that when the learners are relaxed, more learning will happen. Don't mind about the 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but it will surely help them to improve their learning. You may just Google one concept regarding relaxation, that's Hakalo, H-A. I am not doing, but we'll try. Okay, let's discuss. Also, I may share my phone number in the chat also later on, so you can interact with me personally also through WhatsApp also, or through by phone also, no issue. But I feel that this relaxation will improve our concentration, our ability to communicate, our ability to interact, our ability to share and care. So this introduction, I feel that it was useful. It was useful for you, isn't it? Could you interact with me over audio? Anybody?
Yes, sir. We can interact with you, sir.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, was it useful for you? Relaxation? Normally in Kerala, we have some system. For example, I don't know whether it's there in Chennai. Normally before examination here, secondary school students are given 30 minutes cool off time. So this cool off time will help them to relax. They can take deep relaxation, deep breath, and they can be prepared mentally and bodily for writing the examination. Surely it will be without stress, without anxiety, so that they can very easily attend the examination. Likewise, when the learners in our classrooms are coming from different parts of the states or districts, so they will be in a hustle, they will be in a hurry to reach the classroom also. So when we can provide 5 minutes relaxation for them, to be useful for them. Thank you. So I may come to the topic of teaching with the brain in mind with a concept named poisonous pedagogy. Have you heard of this concept, poisonous pedagogy? Anybody?
No, sir. This is the first time we are hearing it.
Okay. It's otherwise known as black pedagogy or dark pedagogy. Poisonous pedagogy, the concept is developed by Alice Miller. She's no more. She was expired in 2010, about 11 years back. So it is her contribution regarding, she has written one of the wonderful books in education and parenting, namely For Your Own Good. It's available, otherwise I can send you. It's available, I think, in Google. The concept is known as poisonous pedagogy. Why it is known as poisonous pedagogy? What does pedagogy means? What does pedagogy means? Pedagogy? The way of teaching or the science of teaching. Pedagogy is known as the science of teaching. So poisonous pedagogy means the poisonous way of teaching. The concept is that it refers to the kind of education and attitudes intended to harm learners' will, but thinking that it is for their own good. For example, sometimes a parent beat a child and tell the child that, Mama, I have beaten you for your own good. Teacher used to plank the child heavily and heavily. And at last, the teacher says to the learner that, dear student, I have beaten you, I have disturbed you for your own good. So please tell me, is it for the goodness of the learner?
Yes, sir. Many times it is for the goodness.
For the goodness. But Alice Miller says that it's not. The learner does not mean that, or the child does not mean that it is for his goodness or her goodness. That is why Alice Miller uses the concept that it is poisonous pedagogy. The learner knows that it is not for her goodness or his goodness. So this type of pedagogy named by Alice Miller is known as poisonous pedagogy or dark pedagogy. So when you beat the child, we feel that it's for his goodness or bad for her goodness. But Miller says that no, it will ultimately destroy the child. We can make or mar a child. We can make or destroy a child. So we feel that we are making the child. But ultimately, Miller says that we are destroying the child. That's why she calls this pedagogy as poisonous pedagogy. Here, the purpose of the learner, the purpose of the parent, the purpose of the teacher is to make the learner silent, to make the child silent. That's why this pedagogy is known as poisonous. Okay, so with this introduction, let me come to the next slide. Which type of teacher are you? We have different types of teachers in classrooms. We have different classification system for teachers. So normally, what are the classification of teachers? Could you tell me? Normal classification. Sorry. Could you tell me? Okay. So they are generally autocratic teachers, laissez-faire teachers, and democratic teachers. Have you heard of them? These teachers? Some of us may be autocratic, very some. Some of us may be laissez-faire. Most of us may be democratic in nature. Are there any difference in the role of these teachers? An autocratic teacher and a democratic teacher and laissez-faire teacher? Laissez-faire, otherwise known as uninvolved, or otherwise known as permissive. Are there any difference between these three types of teachers? Autocratic, laissez-faire, democratic. Autocratic will always say, do this, do that. You have to do that, not do this. Don't say, sit down, stand up. Laissez-faire sometimes say, do this or that as you feel fit. I won't involve. I will permit for everything. I won't make any disturbance for you. You can do if you want to do this. Laissez-faire. Democratic means it's an interactive process. What do you think we should do? What is the difference between these three comments? Do this, or that as you feel fit. What do you think we should do? Are there any differences between these three teachers? Friends? Any difference? Or what are the differences? Or with whom you have to move to become to be an autocratic full time? Or less?
Third one is good.
Third one is good, democratic. Okay. By neglecting laissez-faireism and autocratism completely, as a practical teacher, can't be always democratic. Normally, the third one is good, but there are some teachers who may be democratic always, but at times they will be autocratic. They will insist the rules. Sometimes they won't interfere in the learner's affairs because they feel that it's their freedom. Okay, so there are some teachers who are more democratic and sometimes they are laissez-faire, sometimes only they're autocratic. There are some other teachers who are always democratic. Some teachers who are always autocratic. Some teachers who are always laissez-faire. So anyway, we have our freedom to go with autocracy, laissez-faireism, or democracy. So why I am trying to tell you these three types is that we have unfriendly or brain unfriendly classrooms. We have brain friendly classrooms. Are there any difference? So, which one is better? Brain unfriendly. We have seen these classrooms, isn't it? Brain unfriendly classrooms, fully criticism, always pressure, always baiting, always making a lot of negative comments, critical, use of abusive words. But at the same time, we have this possibility also, a brain-friendly classrooms. So normally, in schools or in colleges, what's happening? Which one is happening? Is it a fully a brain unfriendly classroom, or is it fully a brain friendly classroom, or a mixture of both? I don't feel that we don't have been using fully unfriendly classrooms. No, we have been using psychology principles in classrooms. We have been using brain friendly atmosphere in classrooms. So please tell me, are our classrooms brain friendly or brain unfriendly?
Usually they are the mixture of both.
It may be a mixture of both. That depends, I think. That depends. For example, in an autocratic teacher's classroom, it may be a brain unfriendly classroom, isn't it? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
What about a brain-friendly classrooms? Normally, a democratic teacher's classroom, is it brain-friendly? Normally?
Yes, sir, it is.
Normally, what type of atmosphere a brain-friendly classroom needs? It requires. What may be there? What else may be there?
It should have to have feed forward as well feedback, both at once.
Okay, very
Running hand
good.
in hand.
Back, front and back. Big forward, feed forward, feedback. Okay, good. Both are there. What else? Are there freedom, sir? Are there freedom for learners to interact, to share, to care? I have done my research in collaborative learning, cooperative learning. Collaborative and cooperative learning. So in collaborative cooperative learning, learners can interact always. They can interact with their fellow students in the group. They can interact the fellow classmates in other groups. They can always interact the learning materials put in different sides of the classroom. Also, they can interact with the teacher always. So, is it free or are there freedom? Or freedom is a part of brain-friendly classroom? Hello? What about rigidity? Is the brain-friendly classroom rigid one?
Sir, it's the freedom.
Will there be freedom in brain-friendly classroom?
Yes, sir.
Really, dear friends, I can share the slide and I can just blah blah and go. But I feel that more than just discussing slides, I feel that interaction will be more good. That's why I am interacting with you. Do you have any difficulty to interact? Or is it usually you are doing?
No, sir. This concept is new for us. Sir. That's why there is hardly any interaction observed.
Okay. No, you have been, sir. You have been doing this in your classrooms, but theoretically sometimes you may not. But practically you have been. All of you may be using these techniques in your classrooms. But I feel that this type of classroom is not rigid. It is very flexible. Flexibility is there. But autocratic classroom is very rigid. You have to do that. You have to do this. You may not go there. You may not come here, like that. Also, there is equality. There is no partiality. All are treated equal. They have freedom. There is justice, justice-oriented. There is neutral attitude from the part of the teacher. You will try to help the learners. You will try to support the learners. Sometimes you will try to support the learners with support of other learners. So that there are a lot of interaction. Also, is this classroom a joyful classroom? Is learning one of the tedious activity or a joyful activity? Will it be joyous or will it be tedious one? What do you think about that? I may move. Okay. So normally the classroom has to be joyous. So I think today you have one session on active learning. Active learning mainly concentrates on joyfulness of the classroom, making learners very interactive. One more thing is that I may ask you, that means which class is a good class? A class with more sound, a class with a pin drop silence. which class is termed as a good class, or a better one, or the best one? We have two paradigms. One class where learners are fully silent, pin drop silence, as in the olden days. Interactive, thank you, interactive. Then also we have one more side, or other side. The learners are fully active, full or interactive. Which class is more good? One friend has been writing in the chat that it is interactive. So earlier it is thought that pin drop silence class is a good class. No. Nowadays it is said that a class with more sound is more good one, because it means that something is happening. Thank you for the comments. There is something is happening in the classrooms. Sound means some interaction is going on, some discussion are going on, some bus sessions are going on, some brainstorming are going on. That means so that learners can dialogue, they can discuss something in the classroom. So brain-friendly environment means there are certain elements of brain-friendly environment. Sense of belongingness. Learner has to feel that I'm a part of this class. I'm not an alien in this class. I'm not a neglected child in the class. I'm not a neglected student in this class. Also, they feel that sense of freedom is one of the important part of brain-friendly environment. Learners have to be given freedom to interact. I feel that in some universities also they have freedom to even they can use the library 24/7. At any time they can use the library. There is no restrictions. That means I am not completely against restrictions, but for the sake of freedom, for the sake of learning, we may have or we may provide more freedom for the learners. Also, high level of support for achievement. Teacher will support the achievement of the learner, in whichever ways the teacher can do. The fourth one is sense of empowerment. Normally in higher education, I heard that some expert says that the teacher's duty is not to teach. Then the teacher's duty is to help the learner to find where the knowledge is. We may not spoon feed the learners. They are matured learners. Clearly, your students are matured learners, I think. So sometimes I feel that we may not spoon feed them. Instead, we may provide them some support to seek knowledge on their own. Or we may just give some clues for them where the original, where the knowledge source is there. They can find. They are millennial learners. They have a lot of gadgets with them. They have knowledge with them. Everything is with them. So that type of freedom, that type of belongingness, that type of support, that type of empowerment surely boosts the morale of the learners, and that will help them to learn more. So we have two possibilities again, two paradigms. You can teach without the brain and mind. You can teach with the brain and mind. So please tell me, what is normally happening? Or if we take percentage, up to what percentage that the teachers are using these concepts of teaching with the brain and mind? Or are they completely teaching without the brain and mind? No, I don't think so. A lot of teachers have been utilizing the principles of the psychological principles of brain studies in the teaching learning process. As you know, the brain studies have improved a lot. Nowadays, I used to take that area also, neurobiology of learning. We have a clear-cut idea regarding neurobiology of learning. When we learn something neurobiologically, what is happening in brain? When the stimulus come inside, what is coming inside, what's happening inside, and how the knowledge is processed, how the cognitive concept is processed, and where it is stored. Whether it is stored in the area where the process began, or whether the learning component, the learned thing is stored in some other parts. It's learned that the learner seeks some knowledge with some part of the brain, and in the same area where that learning is stored. So it's a big area. I'm not going to discuss that area. But please tell me, are we teach without the brain and mind, or are we teach with the brain and mind? Or should we teach without the brain mind, or should we teach without the brain mind?
Sir, we should teach brain in mind only,
With
sir.
brain in mind is acceptable, sir.
Sir, we should
Very
teach
good.
the brain in
We-
mind.
we-
Then only we can
Very-
reach this. We can deliver our concepts to the young mind, sir.
Okay, very good. For example, when a learner, when she is stressed, she can sing very well. She can sing very well, but in your room, in your personal room, in your home, she used to sing very well. But when she is asked to be on the stage, she can't. Why? Because she is stressed, isn't it? That means when she is calm, with her calm brain in your home, she can very well sing. But when she comes to the stage, she is stressed. That means that stress is not good for the brains to do some activity, to learn some activity. So thank you for your comments. Thank you very well. Then I feel that some teachers are teaching without the brain in mind, but I think most of you may be teaching with the brain in mind. I am not going to teach you anything, but we are going to discuss something, or we are going to deliberate something on this area. So before going to that area, I may have this activity. There is an area, namely brain teasers. How creatively we can read this one? These sort of activities can be utilized in classrooms because there are a lot of types of learners are there. Visual learners are there. Auditory learners are there. Also, kinesthetic learners are there who like activities or movements, body movements. How can we read this differently? Could you read this one? Think out of the box. Anyone? Maybe read as, I understand. This sentence, I understand. What about this one? This one? Hello, friends. Can you read this one differently? Please try. Anybody? There are about 57 to 80 members are there in the platform. Please try.
Man on board, sir.
Man on board or man overboard. Thank you very much. Thank you. What about this one? Very simple one. Man overboard. Thank you, Vinod. Man overboard. Thank you, Vinod. Thank you. What about this one?
Tricycle.
Tricycle. So, will this sort of activities help learners to be more into your session, into your teaching, into your learning, into your classroom? These sort of activities in between, they are generally known as brain teasers, or they are known as for example, in training it is known as energizers. Some claps, some action songs. Sometimes we may invite a learner to sing a song. Sometimes we may use some claps in between. May use some brain gyms in between. Anybody use those activities in between your classroom, or usually we used to teach regularly? We have 1 hour class. We come to the class and we'll wish the learners. We'll begin our classrooms and we will teach up to 1 hour. Isn't it? Is it happening in your classrooms? I don't think so. I think there are a lot of creative teachers in the group. How the learning process is happening in classrooms? 1 hour completely teaching. Okay. Then, as per the National Education Policy 2020, they say something about the the classroom atmosphere or atmosphere in an institution. A good institution is one in which every student feels welcomed and cared for, where a safe and stimulating learning environment exists, where a wide range of learning experiences are offered, and where a good physical infrastructure and appropriate resources conducive to learning are available to all students. I hope that at least the fourth one is there in all institutions, where we have lot of good physical infrastructure, lot of other paraphernalias or other lot of devices, technical devices are there. What about the first, second, third one? So it is not my comment, but it is the comment, the suggestion made by National Education Policy 2020. So I feel that they also upheld the principles of freedom, principles of providing stimulating learning environment, principles of providing diverse learning experiences to the learners. If you can have enough time, please go through one concept, namely differentiated learning. Differentiated learning or differentiated instruction. One more thing, differentiated assessment. Normally in our classroom, what is happening? Teachers used to teach the average, or teachers used to teach a group of learners. When they teach the average learners, they believe that the slow learners will catch up. Also, the gifted learners will adjust. No. It's our belief only. The differentiated instruction provides different types of interaction for slow learners, also average learners and gifted learners. They used to divide the learners in the classroom into different styles of learning, and these groups are given teaching and learning process according to their style of learning. Also, their learning outcomes are assessed as per their style. There is no, that's why it's known as differentiated assessment. So differentiation is given more importance in classroom. In a brain-friendly classroom also, differentiation is given more importance. Freedom is given more importance. Also, stimulating learning environment is given more importance. So, have you heard of Richard Bandler? He's my guru in NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Are you aware of Neuro-Linguistic Programming? I used to teach topics on teaching, teaching using NLP, or NLP in teaching and learning process also. There are a lot of concepts that can be applied from NLP in teaching and learning process. So Richard Bandler is one of the exponents of NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So he says that there is not such a thing as learning disability, but for LD, but there is teaching disability. Disability is not from the part of the learners, but disability is from the part of the teachers. Here, one of my teachers used to mock some teachers, as those who teach us. They are not teachers, but they are teachers. So there is not such a thing as learning disability, but teaching disability. Would you accept that? At least for some people. Hello, friends. Are there teaching disabled people? Some teachers are there who are born teachers. They might be a failure in the 10th exam, but they are excellent teachers. At the same time, there may be trained teachers having trained in pedagogy or science of teaching. But there are some teachers who are very failure in teaching. I feel that they have teaching disability. What about you? How do you think about it? Do you have any restriction in the platform to interact? No? No. Is it a new area to you? No. Completely new area to you? Sorry? Is it a fully new area to you?
Not complete, sir, but the thoughts are new here, and the areas.
The areas? Are you enjoying the session? Are you enjoying this this concept? Are you enjoying the session? Are you enjoying this concept?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So we are doing we are going for other activity and one of activity. So please sit comfortably. Please try to draw a circle with your right hand, clockwise, this way, clockwise, this way. Could you do this one? Draw a circle with the right hand in the air, clockwise. Are you doing this one?
Yes, sir.
Please do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please leave your right hand. Take your left hand. Please draw a square in the air with your left hand, clockwise. Are you doing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, please do the both. Please draw a circle with your right hand. At the same time, please draw a square with your left hand clockwise.
Cannot be done at a time, sir.
Not be done at a time, but can be done. It can be done.
Sir.
So I think so do the reverse. Try to both are coming as a circle. For some people, it's parabola.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you reverse your hands. Now try to. It may be difficult. Some say so. When the small children, ellipse also on that time. When small children draw circle, square, which one is more easy for the first? Will they draw the circle first or will they draw the square first? Which is easy for them?
Circles.
For them, circles are easy for them.
Yes.
Then only they can draw a square. So please draw a square with your right hand. At the same time, please try to draw a circle with your left hand. You may please try to concentrate on one, the difficult one. You may try to concentrate on your right hand, which is drawing the square. Circle will come on its own. Can you do this one?
This is quite fine.
Okay. Anyway. Okay. Thank you. So, could you do this one? Anyway, you might have better than the previous time. Okay. Very good. Okay. Thank you. So, anyway, have you enjoyed it?
Yes, sir. We enjoyed.
Yes,
Will
sir.
our learners enjoy the same in our classrooms?
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. Okay. So that means this sort of brain gym activity is not as brain gym. Brain gym is a set of activities that will help to improve the capacity of brain to learn. I'm a trainer in brain gym also. We have 26 brain gym activities. So almost all brain gym activity has its own powerful results also. Okay. So this brain gym activities is included. I was telling you that I have shared the link of my new course on innovative strategies of teaching and learning in your chat box. So you can click on that and you can join if you want. That course includes a module on brain gym related learning activities or strategies related activities. So it provides about 26 brain gym activities. So I feel that these sort of activities will try to energize the learners to be more in the classroom. If you teach 1 hour orally completely, rotary completely, they will sometimes lose their attention. But in between, if you use this, it will help you. One more thing, in between, I may ask you, class. What is that? Class. So that at the same time, you can answer me, yes. You have to answer me, yes. If I tell you class, you can tell me, yes. Sometimes I may clap and say clap, but teach. Sorry. I was telling class. You can tell me yes. So you have to reverse the activity by telling yes, what I am doing. Class. Class.
Yes, yes.
Class.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this activity is known as brain switch. Brain switch. It's based on brain gym or a brain related studies. This method is known as whole brain teaching. We will discuss later on if time allows. So this activity help the learners to be in the classroom always. This method is known as whole brain teaching. Class.
Yes.
You can change your sound and tell yes. Okay. So class.
Yes.
Okay. So these sort of activities will try to grab the attention of the learners in the classroom always. After 5 minutes, after 10 minutes, you can use the class yes. So it will usually thump up. It will energize the brain to be in the classroom. So regarding something about our wonderful brain, you know that the most intricate human computer, a lot can be done with the help of this brain. Even the artificial intelligence could not emulate this completely. They are trying to, but they can't. Because it's a wonderful one. The natural brain is natural and is very powerful. So we are using this brain capacity to learn a lot. That's why a lot of scientific studies are happening on brain. I was telling you, there are latest developments in neuroscience, especially cognitive neuroscience. I was telling about Dr. V.S. Ramachandran. It's heard that he'll be awarded this Nobel Prize in the future. That sort of activities are happening by him in the field of cognitive neuroscience. Now also there is diffusion imaging. With the help of this diffusion imaging, we are able to see what is going on inside the brain in learning. When the brain is learning, in different parts of the brain, we can see what is happening. Through the color changing, we can see a lot of PET or MRI scan pictures are there. That we can see very, very minute pictures of the process happening in the brain. That much specificity is attained by the brain studies. So that is very easy for us to learn brain. So Calicut says that anything you learned 2 years ago is already old information. Neuroscience is exploding. So that much intricacies is happening in the field of brain studies. Lot of specific studies are coming in the field of teaching and learning also. Then there are a lot of implications for these brain studies for teaching and learning. There are endless connections between brain research and everyday life, as you know. Likewise, there are endless connections between brain research and teaching and learning also. We have a lot of implication of brain research with the children. I was telling you about brain gym. It's proved that some simple activities like for a brain button or space button, a lot of activities are there. So while doing these brain gym activities, it's proved that different specific regions of the brain are activated. When this part of the brain are activated, that will affect or that will improve the capacity of that particular region of the brain in a different ways. That is why there is need for an education that connect neurology, teaching, and classroom behaviors. That sort of activities or developments in the field of teaching and learning is known as brain-based teaching revolution. This brain-based teaching revolution includes a lot of innovative methods of teaching like brain-based learning, brain-compatible learning, power teaching, all brain teaching, brain gym-oriented teaching, likewise. Lot of things are there. Really, one of my interested areas is innovative methods of teaching and learning. That's why I have developed this MOOC on innovative methods. It includes 40 innovative methods of teaching for learners and teachers. So when we apply the developments attained by the brain studies, that area is known as brain-based teaching revolution. So we are entering to that. One of the important application of brain in learning is brain-based learning. So it tells about the linkages between brain and how we teach. Normally it is accepted that we can't teach anybody, but everybody can learn, isn't it? We can't teach everybody, we can't teach anybody, but everybody can learn. But in higher education, we are not able to teach anybody, or we can't teach anybody, but we can help them to learn, or we can learn on their own. That's why the new concept of learning is learning to learn. Not teaching to learn, but learning to learn, or learning how to learn. There comes the concept of different styles of learning. Are you aware of that? What are different styles of learning? Styles of learners in classrooms? Friends? What are different types of learners? Are you aware of them?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Slow learners,
Slow learners, very good.
fast learners, sir.
Soft learners, fast learners, very good.
Sir, it
Philomena, ma'am.
depends on grasping power.
Sorry?
It depends on their grasping power.
Yeah, depends upon. Okay, madam. Okay, ma'am. Depends upon their grasping power. How can we divide them? Normally, we classify that they are slow learners, they are average learners, they are gifted learners, or prodigies, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
What else? What are other classifications? In education, we have some area of research named style literature. The different styles, for example, different styles of teachers, different styles of learners. So one among the styles of learners is that auditory learners, visual learners, and kinesthetic learners. Who are kinesthetic learners? Who are fond of doing activities, experimentations, I think in your classrooms, in your field, in your teaching field, there may be a lot of kinesthetic activity may come, isn't it? You may have laboratory or technical works are there, in your lab works are there. It involves a lot of activities or movements are there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so normally in a classroom, there may be different types of learners. Most of the learners in the classrooms are visual learners, auditory learners, or kinesthetic learners. What about you? How do you feel?
All types will be there, sir, in a classroom.
Sorry?
Visual learners, kinesthetic learners. So we can find all types of students.
Okay, you can type. Thank you. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for the response, ma'am. If you find different types of learners in the classrooms, who may be the majority? What are the majority?
Visual learners.
Visual learners.
Yeah.
Could you tell me the approximate percentage?
Suppose around
50-50. Okay.
60% of the students.
50%.
Yeah. While teaching, if you give the PPT presentation or if you add up some video clips, okay, they'll be more attentive and listen to it than talk and write classes.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. But the theory says new developments in the field of brain studies proves that about 83% of the learners are visual learners.
Okay.
In your classrooms, 83% are visual learners. Who comes next?
Kinesthetic as well as.
There are differences. Some studies prove that kinesthetic is next, but some studies prove that auditory first. Anyway, some studies prove that auditory learners are only 10% in the classroom, whereas kinesthetic learners are 7% in the classroom. But what is happening normally in the classrooms? Are teaching the majority visual learners in the classroom, or are teachers teaching the minority auditory learners in the classrooms or kinesthetic learners in the classrooms? Normally, I feel that normally teachers are teaching the auditory learners in the classrooms mostly. But nowadays, I think it is changed. All of us are now utilizing visual elements. If we are using PPTs, PPTs for whom? Mainly for whom? For example, which type of student? In this interaction also, I can interact with you without PPT. So will it be more effective like as it's happening now?
No, sir. It will
Why?
not be.
Because mostly 83% of the participants in this session are, I feel, they are visual learners. So if it's a accepted fact that one picture is equal to 1,000 words, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So if you can utilize visuals in a classroom, that's very effective. Also, if you can utilize a lot of movements, activities in the classroom, it will also be effective. One more thing is that, are we utilizing a lot of activities in the classrooms? Are we utilizing activities in the classrooms normally?
Yes, sir. Sometimes in the interaction classes, we give the activities.
Madam, what sort of activities you are doing?
For example, whenever we are teaching, for example, with respect to that concept, we ask the students to search for examples.
Okay, good.
Like any devices, okay, the commercial products. We check with the commercial
Yes.
that are right now available. Which are the companies manufacturing those devices like that?
Okay. Very good. So normally these type of discussions, I feel that I also feel that almost all teachers among you maybe utilize these activities because you have a lot of chance for doing activities in your classrooms. As your field of teaching and learning is like that, I feel so. So brain-based learning tells about the linkages between brain and how we teach. So we are moving to the second brain teaser. How can you read this one? Please try to read this. Think out of the box. Try your level best. You have done one slide earlier. Likewise, please try. Very simple. Good afternoon. Isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. This one you can very well answer. Which one?
You are arrested.
You are?
You are under arrest.
You are under arrest. Very good. You are under arrest.
You are under arrest.
You are under arrest. Very good. What about this one?
Open space.
Open space.
Open space, sir.
Open space.
Utilized in classrooms. Also, we may have lots of claps also. You can utilize that also. You might have heard of train clap, lot of. So, what are the important aspects of learning? Now we are coming to the different aspects of learning. When you are not speaking, please mute your mic. Okay, thank you. So, there are different aspects of learning according to brain principles. The first one is emotions. I feel that normally this concept of emotions or the importance of emotions in teaching and learning is not taken consideration completely. But brain studies proves that one of the important area which have connection with the learning is emotions of the learners. To treat or to cater to the or to treat the emotions of the learner very clearly. Second one is movement. We are discussing the emotions later on also. What about movement? If the learners are moved, also, are there any relation between movement and learning? Will movement improve learning?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Carla Dennison and Paul Dennison, they are the exponents of brain gym activities. They prove that movements of body will surely improve the brain's power to learn. That's why they have evolved 26 methods, 26 activities of brain gym. They are very clearly mentions the result of each and every brain gym. It will improve concentration, it will become more communication, it will improve vocabulary. That sort of results are coming with the help of these movements. Really, these brain gym activities are done by some schools regularly. In the first period, for 10 to 20 minutes, some learners, I know one school in Mahi, here in Kerala, near Kerala, they are utilizing these activities regularly, daily. There are a lot of fantastic improvements in the power of learners to learn also. So movement has very, very clear connection between with the learning. Also, social interaction. Earlier, we have seen that teacher is teaching, learners are learning. Learners are conceived as empty vessels to be filled in with knowledge, or tabula rasa. That means empty vessels. That is why Paulo Freire says that education is banking education. Teacher deposits something to the head of the teacher, and in the examination, the learner will take back, and he will vomit in the examination paper or the answer papers. So social interaction means it's a learning by interacting. Collaborative learning says that 1 plus is not equal to 2, the more than 2. In Malayalam, there is a famous writer, Vaikam Muhammad Bashir. His Malayalam concept, 1 and 1 is not equal to 2, but it's immediately bigger one. 1 plus 1 is not 2, but it's the bigger one. That means one has energy, the second one also has energy, and 1 and 1 joins, there is synergy. That's why it's a very bigger one. Malayalam. So social interaction, the give and take in between social interaction helps learning a lot. There is more fun, there is more interaction, there is sharing, caring, giving, taking. Lot of things are there. Social interaction is also an important factor of learning according to brain principles. Also, a good learning environment. Need of a brain-friendly learning environment that has freedom, that has equality, that has justice, that has flexibility, that has joy. There, learning is not an activity, but learning is a playful activity. One more thing, motivation. So according to Arthur Jensen in 2005, these are the 5 important elements of learning. There should be catering of emotions, there should be provision of movements, there should be provision of social interaction. I don't know whether you are aware of that. There is one, maybe one famous theorist in education, namely Vygotsky. Vygotsky's method of teaching is known as social constructivism. He believes that in a group-wise learning, more learning happens. You may be aware of that. So these are the 5 important factors that influence learning in an effective way. So that is with regard to brain principles also. So can you see the slide? The small action song. Let me check whether audio comes or not. Is there audio? Hello?
Audio is not there, only picture.
Audio not there?
No, sir.
Okay. Sorry, there are some issues. I don't know what happens. Can you see the slide now?
Yes.
Hello? Okay. Sorry. It's not working. I don't know. So the first principle, one of the principles of learning is that, can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Each brain is unique. They says that each brain is unique. That means that's why there are different types of learning is needed. A visual learner's brain is different from an auditory learner's brain. Also, a visual learner is different from another visual learner's brain. Each brain is unique. That means each and every learner needs unique teaching experience. So what can be done, or what is the implication of this principle? Each brain is unique means that points to the need of differentiated teaching learning activities for each and every learner. All learners are not equals. Each brain is unique, and even the brains of identical twins are different, isn't it? There is a concept in education psychology, namely individual difference. Each and every learner is different in their intelligence, creativity, attitude, aptitude, temperament, emotions, lot of other features. So a uniform process of teaching learning process is not amenable. Also, one size fit all process is not amenable, not useful. Instead, there may be provision for different activities, different learners. So the implication of this principle is that all learners are different and need to be empowered to make choices and allowed to understand the world from their own unique perspective. If you have time, please go through one video that is available in the net. That is Animal School. The Animal School means it's a movie on the need of differentiation education. It says that there are different animals like animals and birds. Eagle is there, giraffe is there, sometimes even fish is there, squirrel is there. Though the capacities of squirrel is different from an eagle, it is different from that of an owl, also different from that of an elephant. But the curriculum of the animal school is the same. Sometimes the squirrel is asked to dive, the duck is asked to climb the tree. Sometimes the eagle is asked to sometimes, please mute your mic in between, please. Okay, so each brain is unique. That means this principle says that when the brain is unique, there are different activities can be given to different learners. I was telling you about differentiated instruction, where learners in the classrooms are divided into different groups, and these different groups are given different activities in the same classrooms. One of my students have done her MA using this principle. She was telling me that it was very unique experience for her, that different learners are getting different experience. The learners, at the same time, their assessment level is also different. A visual learner's style is different from that of an auditory kinesthetic learner. Another one is that Howard Gardner, who is the chief exponent of, you know him, Howard Gardner? You may be aware of him. Please tell me, what is the contribution of Howard Gardner? Anybody? With the exponent of multiple intelligences. Okay. Now the latest findings are that there are 11 types of intelligences. That verbal intelligence are there, bodily kinesthetic intelligence are there. Then again, spiritual intelligence are there. Then again, naturalist intelligence are there. There are different 11 types of intelligence are there. Moral intelligence are there. So according to Howard Gardner, the biggest mistake of past centuries in teaching has been to treat all children as if they were variants of the same individual, and thus to feel justified in teaching them all the same subjects in the same way. That's why I was telling you in the beginning that normally teachers are concentrating on average learners, isn't it? What about you? Are you teaching different learners in the classroom different way, or are you concentrating on average learners? Or are what normally done by general teachers? Do we have enough time to treat each and every learner separately?
No, sir.
No.
Class,
In a class?
in class, we consider equal and start teaching.
Yes. Normally, we start equal, or we start in the same way, where we consider all learners are equal, but there are some possibilities. That's why I was telling you about differentiated learning. So please go through that. It's available. There are a lot of principles of differentiated learning in classrooms. It's possible. It won't take your time. In the beginning, there may be some difficulties, but later on, it will be very, very easy for you. One more thing is that collaborative learning. I was telling you that I have done my PhD in collaborative learning. In the beginning, it was difficult for me to do the experimentation. But later on, it was very, very easy for me that the learners are very much ready for that new types of learning. And after 2 or 3 weeks time, I could feel that I can cover more topics than the usual classrooms. So we may have difficulty in the beginning, but if you are trying to experiment something, we may have some choices. That's why I am inviting you to join the course. Also, you may tell your friends also. It will be an experience for you. Then I was telling there are different learners, different styles. We have already discussed this. Likewise, there are different teachers also. Different visual teachers are there, auditory teachers are there, kinesthetic teachers are there. You may be remembering that. Some of you may be remembering very clear that you may be very well aware of the pictures. When you were a student, you could very easily remember that I have done this point, I had underlined this point with red ink pen. I have drawn an image in the left margin of the notebook, like that. So I am a visual learner. So I always remember that when I go to some places, it's very easy for me that next time I won't have difficult to go there because the picture is there. Also, for visual learners, they are very good at spelling. Why? For some other learners, auditory learners or kinesthetic learners, for them, the spelling may be a difficult one. But for visual learners, spelling is a good one. But why it is so? Because for them, they are not seeing different alphabets, but for them, a word is a picture. Different. For example, here different is a picture. Learners is a picture. It's not a single alphabets for them. That's why they will very, very easily learn something by see something. Likewise, there are visual teachers, visual auditory teachers, kinesthetic teachers. And who will be an effective teacher? Who can be an effective teacher? I was telling you that about 83% of the learners in the classrooms are visual learners. About 10% of the class learners are auditory teachers. Likewise, about 7% of the learners in the classrooms are kinesthetic or tactile learners. We can take for this for teachers also. 83% may be visual teachers, auditory 10%, kinesthetic 7%. So in a classroom, about whom the learners will say that who is an effective teacher regarding the styles. Could you tell me? Usually some learners used to say that I don't like his class because that's not. Why he says so? Why she says so? Why she may be saying? The thing is that because the teacher's style is not matching with her style. Simple. But some student says that I like his class very well. Why? Sometimes the teacher's style may be matching with the style of the learner. So there may be these types of learners in the classrooms. If a teacher can match the style, visual learners, auditory style, kinesthetic learners, at the same time, all learners in the classroom will say that the class is a good one. So there, the challenge of the teacher is to match his style with that of different types of learners in the classroom, so that all learners in the classroom will say that the class is effective or the class is good one. Okay. One more principle of brain studies is that learning engages the entire physiology. Shall we do for one activity? Hello, friends. Hello.
Sir, yes.
Could you see my video? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please. So please hold your right ear with your left hand. This I may hold here. Turn it. Right ear with your left hand.
Yes, sir.
Then again nose with your right hand. This way.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now exchange. Now exchange. Right. Hold your left ear with your right hand and nose with your left hand. Alternate.
Yes, sir.
See that you are changing your right and left hand to hold your nose. Could you do this one?
Yes, sir.
Can you do this one? It's also brain gym activity. It will improve the capacity of both hemispheres of the brain to interact. There is an interaction between both hemispheres of the brain. Regarding the hemispheriology also, there are a lot of new studies. Some studies prove that there is no hemispheres. Yes, but okay, Arun sir. Yes, but difficult. In the beginning, it will be difficult. If you continuously do it, it will be very easy. I do it for my exercise. That's why I can do this very clearly. Okay. Yes. So next principle is learning engages the entire physiology. Normally, we feel that learning engages our different senses only, but this principle says that learning engages the entire physiology. That means our sitting posture has something to do with our learning. For example, if we are sitting this way, that will affect our learning. If the learners are sitting in this way, that will affect their learning. There is a body-mind continuum. The body posture will affect the mind. The position of the mind affects body. When you are sad, emotionally in turbulence, that will affect your body, surely. That's why your friend will ask, what happened to you? Sometimes your face will notice that. More than that, mind affects body, body affects mind. There are different states: physical state, mental state. Physical state affects mental state affects physical state. That's why I used to tell my students that don't sit this way, because if your body is slanted, your mind also will be slanted. Mind can't concentrate. So learning the entire physiology, so that the implication is that education value, we have to provide some activities for stress management, nutrition, exercise, and relaxation must be fully incorporated into the learning process. I was telling you one concept, namely Hekalu. You can note that. Hakalau. It's a Bahaian method. It says that if you take 2 minutes time to concentrate one point, you will reach the peripheral vision. We have cylindrical vision, peripheral vision. When we reach the peripheral vision, that means that we can see here also. Or you'll be coming to a know-nothing state, ANOW, know-nothing state, a blank state. At that time, our mind will be prepared to learn that. So if you do the same exercise in our classrooms also, earlier in my ML class also I used to do that. I asked the learners to look to a point for 2 minutes. They will be strained in first. But when the learners reach the Hekalu or the a know-nothing state, they can very easily learn. The learning that's happening after that is known as accelerated learning, acceleration. We accelerate, we press the accelerate to speed up the vehicle. Likewise, the accelerated learning will speed up the learning. That means within 1/10th of that usual teaching time, learner can learn. Or he can learn 10 times of learning more than what is he's usually learning. So this type of activities can be utilized before learning. One more thing is the water. Water may be an excellent element that may be with the brain. Okay. Then again, relaxation is an important part. Surely I was telling you about that, because normally in morning we may do that, or learners also may do that. They may do a lot of activities for body, lot of activity for mind, and lot of brain. Physical exercise, small muscle exercise are for body, or physical exercise for body. Relaxation is for mind. Brain gym activities are for brain. So these sort of different activities can be done for body, mind, and brain. It will surely improve the capacity of the brain to learn more. Another important thing is that I was telling you, drink more water. What's the best brain? What is the best brain? Please tell me. The best brain is the watered brain. Watered brain means that's not a brain that's put in water, but a brain that has more intake of water. That's why learners have to take lot of water, because taking water will improve the capacity of the brain to learn. The usual style nowadays, particularly for girl students, is that they will skip water due to fear that they have to use the urinals in the college or sometimes in the school. Some people used to skip sleep also. They have to take a big toll, because sleep is an important aspect of brain's energy, brain's capacity also, surely oxygen level also. You know that. So water is an important one. That's why we have to tell our students that to take adequate level of water daily. That's not only for body, but fully for our brain also. Water intake will surely improve the capacity of the brain. One more thing is that the brain needs nourishment. It needs food, adequate level of food. Sometimes some students will skip food, night food, or sometimes there is two types of body features. Sometimes some are very bulimic. There are two types of bulimia. One is very lean, one is very fat. Okay, so to become lean, sometimes particularly girl students they will skip food. Hydration is an important part of brain. Air quality is also. Nowadays we have a lot of problem with regarding use masks. When the double masking came, lot of problems are there. Really, I have a neighbor just near to my home, who is a senior Ayurvedic medical practitioner, who always used to tell me that, sir, please don't cover your nose with your mask, because Ayurveda tells that we don't cover our indriyas. Nose is an indriya. We are covering that indriya with our mask. So air quality is an important one. Light is another one. Even there are some recent studies which proves that color has influence on learning. Color has influence on different parts of the learning. Surely sleep is there. We know that. I remember when I was in Dindigal for a program, Anugraha. There is one father is there. I think you may be aware of him. Some people, he used to sleep very early, I think. When I attended the program there years back, I also started doing the same practice. So it's very energetic. Sleep is an important aspect of brain. Exercise, surely, we were telling about that. Movement is an important part of. Movement is not body for them. It's for mind also. But brain also, lot of activities. Bilateral movements, midline movements are the, it can be very effective for helping the power of the brain. Also, they promote neuroplasticity and neurogenesis. What is that? Neuroplasticity. They keep cortisol and dopamine at appropriate levels. We have different neurochemicals in our body. So the cortisol are the stress hormone and dopamine is the happiness hormones. Normally, you may be utilizing your mobile. You might have sent a message to your friend or to a group. You will be expecting reply from that. When you are expecting reply from that, there will be secretion of dopamine. There's happiness hormone. Please tell me, when you may tell that I didn't expect a result, I didn't expect a reply, but in your inner core you may be expecting a reply from that. That's a matter of acceptance also. So when you are wait for the reply from your friends, dopamine is produced, dopamine is working. It's a happy hormone. Serotonin is also a happy hormone, whereas this cortisol and sometimes a lot of other hormones are there, the negative hormones are there. Okay. So this brain needs nourishment because this nourishment promote neuroplasticity and neurogenesis. Means, are you aware of that? Neuroplasticity? Brain is malleable, brain is changeable, it can rewire. This rewiring of or malleability of the brain is known as neuroplasticity. That means when we are learning new things, normally it will be plastic, it will improve. Again, side by side with that, there will be new neurons, the emergence of new neurons, neurogenesis. When we are engaged in lot of academic activities, when the learners are engaged in a lot of cognitive activities, there will be lot of new neural wirings. Development of new neurons, or strengthening the connection between one axonite and the dendrite, the adjacent dendrite. So this connection is strengthened. New connections are provided. I was telling you earlier about the neurobiology of learning. What is happening? In neurobiology of learning, when you are learning a new concept, new connections between new neurons are taken and a neural path is given. When you are repeatedly doing that as a part of your neuron, when you are disusing that, when you are not using that, you will sometimes forget. Why? Because as per the law of disuse, if you are not using that capacity for a long time, normally it will diminish, it will decrease. If you are not using a separate particular language for a lot of years, you may not be having that much capacity that might have earlier. Okay. Are you aware of this capacity, these features, neuroplasticity and neurogenesis? In Malayalam, there is a saying, Korunna Kanarale Vella Undavu. Would you understand that? Anybody? Korunna Kanarale Vella Undavu means?
No, sir.
No. That means when you pump or when you take water manually from a well, there will be more water. Some normal people, some traditional people says that more than taking water through pumping, just take water with bucket also. If you move the bucket, normally what we are doing, we may put the bucket in the well and we may fill the bucket and we'll do this activity, do like that. So they say that when we do that, there will be more water. Likewise, if our brain is used for some creative works regularly, there will be more capacity. If your brain is idle, the capacity of the brain to learn will decrease, isn't it? Am I right? It's not my principle, it's the principle of neurobiology.
Yes.
We may have that experience. If we are always with something, normally you may have that capacity. When we are not with that, you will lose that. Okay. So we may come to the end of the session. Emotions and learning. I was telling you that, are there any connection with the emotion learning? Yes. Really, brain have two languages. One language is emotion, the second language is images. That's why sometimes some visual people, they can't forget some images. So brain has two languages. First one is image, the second one is emotion. That's why when I was asked you to relax, and after that I given you one moment of remembering the pleasurable event. You remember that? At that time, when you remember the pleasurable event, if you are a visual person, you will get a lot of visual imageries of that experience. Okay. Also at the same time, you may have a lot of emotions also. Pleasant emotions also may come. So if there are pleasant emotions, there are more learning. If there are negative emotions, there will be decreased learning. So this is a language of the brain, and the brain is emotional. Also, it pays attention to emotions naturally. It will be providing. One more capacity of the brain is that when two things are provided, it will normally attract to positives. Unconsciously, it is attracted to positives. Okay, but even though we have people are slanted towards negatives, people are slanted towards, or they are prone to negative emotions. At the same time, these negative emotions will affect learning negatively. Okay, emotions affect learning and memory. Memory also, not only learning, but memory also. And emotions are critical to learning. As you know, why? Why emotions are critical to learning? To tell me some experiences. That's there are some teachers. For example, a girl may be there in the classroom. She may be, she's able to sing something. The teacher asks, sing. I say, sing. Can she sing?
Yes, sir.
No. If you are requesting her to, she's very able to sing something, or say, I may request her to sing a song, she'll be, at any time, she'll be ready to sing a song. So stress won't get the result if you are aware of that. So emotions are very, very critical to learning. That's why we may include, educators need to understand that students' feelings and attitude will be involved in the learning process. I remember sometimes a lot of students are there, they may not be remembering the class of the teacher, the style of the teacher, but they may be, we may be, as mature learners, as mature teachers, we may be remembering some teachers. We are not remember those teachers due to their academic skill, but they have touched our emotions, isn't it? There are a lot of teachers are there. In a turbulence, they consoled us by patting our back, or touching our, just consoling us. Remember them. So it's not an academic activity, is not an intellectual activity only. There was a belief, earlier there was a belief that academic activity is completely cognitive, intellectual. No. Nowadays, recent theories provide importance to cognitive, affective, as well as emotional, and psychomotor or movement. These three things have to be given importance, not only intellectual. Okay, so educators need to understand that students' feelings and attitudes will be involved in the learning process. Each and every learner's emotions, not only general emotions, but each and every learner's emotions have to be catered, to be touched. Surely, that teacher will be there in the mind of the learners. Those teachers are remembered always. There's one famous saying about a teacher. Teachers are of 4 categories. A mediocre teacher tells. A good teacher explains. A superior teacher demonstrates. But a great teacher is one who inspires. So, a great teacher is one who inspires. One more famous saying about a teacher is that a teacher is like a bridge. It's coming for spontaneously. I was not planning to use this quotation. Teachers are like bridges who invite his students to cross the bridge, and having facilitated their crossing, joyfully collapse, helping learners to make bridges of their own. That's why a Chinese proverb says that you may not give a man fish always. Instead, help him or her to catch fish. How to catch fish? How to fish? so that it will be a way of living for him. It may not be, you may not be able to teach always a person, a learner. Instead, teach him how to learn so that he can learn on his own or her own. Okay, so the attention and mood go in hand. When mood is up, attention is also up. When mood is down, attention is also down. That's why some learners they are used to learn the last minute. They can't remember anything. Even the learned thing will be spoiled. That's why we ask the learners to better not to read in the last minute. Be relaxed. This relaxation or this cooling down will help them to get back the thing. There are some learners, I used to do counseling. Some students come for counseling, says that, so there is blanking out. Some adults also. They'll be prepared to do a lot of good lecture. But when they come near the mic, they'll be black out. Everything will go. What's happening? Anxiety. They're able, but anxiety helps them not to. So emotion has a great connection between learning and okay. So what are the strategies to include emotions in our classrooms? We can celebrate. I see that some institutions, they used to celebrate everything, even a small birthday, even the achievement of a teacher, collaborative skills of teachers, achievement of teachers, managements. Okay, so celebration is a good way to include emotions in teaching. Physical activities, small games, small physical activity exercises. Also rituals, some interesting rituals may be there. Games, surely, energizers. Then role modeling, some small activities like acting, even simply singing a song in a classroom, group song. So these are some of the activities that can be done to include emotions in our classrooms. So normally the emotional state of the teacher also affect the learner's capacity. Teacher's emotional state influence child state. You may have a lot of memories. You may be coming from home to college with some turbulence in your mind. Sometimes that will affect the teaching on that day. So before entering to my humble request to myself and the other teachers that if you are emotionally not calmed down, better not to go to the class on that day. Better take a leave. Better sit in our staff room, not to go to the classroom. Because that influences child state, student state, influence child development in general also. Because if you are in an emotional turbulence, sometimes you may use some words at that time, in that given moment. Sometimes that will destroy, that will mar the entire spirit of the learner to learn. I remember when a learner came to me, he says that always he write the exam, medical exam, he will fail. The thing was that, but senior doctor told him that medical profession is not for you. Always he is trying, but he can't. Check that. Printed. Medical profession is not for you. Tried and tried, but later on, after some process, he could pass the examination. So let me conclude by saying the quotation of a famous teacher. After 30 to 40 years of teaching, Hameed Ayyat, he says that, I have come to the frightening conclusion that I am the decisive element in the classroom. It's my personal approach that creates the climate. It's my daily mood that makes the weather. I possess tremendous power to make the life miserable or joyous. I can be a tool of torture or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate or humor, hurt or heal. In all situations, it's my response that decides whether a crisis is escalated or de-escalated and a person is humanized or dehumanized. Hameed Ayyat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was very informative and interesting also. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome. Was it useful for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My humble request to you is that please try to use these principles in your time. Try to
Yes.
use these sort of activities in classrooms that won't take your time. Instead, that will improve your teaching.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. So let me thank the organization, the college, and the participants for having interact with me this the last hours. I'm very thankful to Murugappa Polytechnic College, Chennai, Satyamurthy Nagar, Avadi, Chennai, for providing me a chance to interact with the enlightened teachers in different parts of the country. I hope that you will use these principles in your classroom also. Thank you very much.
Sir, hi sir. Hi sir.
Please.
I am Kamal from Murugappa Polytechnic, sir.
Okay, please, sir.
I am the co-host of this FDP because Sekhar sir will be on another meeting, an emergency meeting.
Yeah, he told me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Such a wonderful session, sir. So, how to teach based on the different learners in a different method, teaching in a demonstration way. It's easy to understand how to teach in classes. It is very useful to our teaching staffs because some of the students attitudes may be changed in the stage because you are doing such a like as a demonstration way is very good to all because how to teach for a learning disability person for low learners and fast learners like as learning disability for teachers learners disability in such each brain is have a unique aspect of learning, importance aspects for the learnings, and as well as strategies to include in emotions. In such a way, you are doing a good job, sir. So it's such a wonderful presentation. Nice to hear, sir. Very good morning to all. Dear participant, if you have any query, our expert is waiting on the line. Please ask him.
Dr. Sharavan and Bhanurega Sharavan has raised his hand. So I have shared my mobile number in the chat. Also, earlier I have shared the window, the link of joining my course. If you want, you can join. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, on behalf of our department and the Murugappa Polytechnic, we thank to you, sir.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Okay.
Anybody in the any participant would like to interact with 1 or 2 minutes?
Sir, dear participants, if you have any interaction,
was it useful for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Lavadi. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Your session was very much useful, sir. We can daily practice your session in a class so that we can reach more students. We can impart more knowledge in a better conducive environment. We can create environment, sir. That's what your entire lecture has